Good morning. I'm Laurel Whitehouse, personal pronouns she, her, hers. I'm a member of the parish committee here at First Parish Wayland. I welcome you into this season of advancing darkness, diminishing warmth, balanced with celebrations of light and joy. May your holiday season bring many moments that just fill your heart up with happiness. We're glad you're joining us in person or online this Sunday. A special welcome to visitors, especially those who might be here for the first time. After the worship service, please join us downstairs for coffee, tea, and fellowship. If you're new or just want to start a conversation, please pick up a red mug. Imagine I'm holding a red mug. And it's our signal to the community that you'd welcome a friendly chat. Our mission here at First Parish Wayland is to build community, search for meaning, deepen our spirituality, and make a better world. If you'd like to know more about First Parish or Unitarian Universalism, someone from our membership team will be downstairs at during social hour at the welcome table, and Reverend Lisa and our Director of Lifespan Religious Exploration Education is Kate Holland, who is, now back over there. And either of them would also be glad to speak with you. And a big thanks to all the service participants whose names are in the order of service. Please silence those frisky cell phones for our time together. And let's take a moment to wave hello to one another, and especially to those online up there. We will now have two special announcements. The first from Lynn Trimby on the recent Dining for Dollars fundraiser.
Good morning. I'm Lynn Trimby, pronouns she, her, and I'm a member of your Dining for Dollars team. And I am pleased to announce the results of our fundraiser. We raised over $14,000 before expenses, more than we expected, honestly. In keeping with the theme, today's theme of gratitude, I want to thank all of our donors who came up with such wonderful and creative events, and of course all of you who bid so generously on those events to make this successful. Your support makes a meaningful difference to First Parish. Last but not least, I want to thank the other members of the team, Laurel Whitehouse, Larry Green, Becky Leonard, and Susie Keys. Bon appetit, everybody.
I have an announcement too, and I'm Kate Holland. I'm Director of Lifespan Education here at First Parish, and I use she, her pronouns. So I have a very, very exciting announcement. So in our SEEK program, we currently have 36 children registered, which is great. Our numbers have been growing, which is great. But the truly amazing thing that happened last Sunday, we had 30 children from our program come to be part of our classes on Sunday, from nursery to like 7th grade, our oldest, which is amazing. Isn't that great? Come on. So excited about that. But you all know what comes next. So, as exciting and wonderful as that is, to make it so this program is welcoming and exciting for the kids, we need extra hands. And so if you have a Sunday where you would be willing to lend a hand, that would be great. We have Anna in the kids class for the elementary age kids. I'm in the older age class kids, and we need help in the nursery. So you'd always be around somebody who kind of knows the lay of the land, and if you get confused, and it's really easy and fun. Like, you get to do crafts, and you get to talk to really cool kids, and you get to practice being an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent. It's a lot of fun, and so I'm hoping that I will be overwhelmed this week by people who are excited and want to help out in the SEEK program. So, yay us for growing. Woohoo!
So let us breathe together for a moment. Breathing in, breathing out. inhaling peace and exhaling love as we center ourselves and turn our hearts and minds to worship. The members of the Barber LaPenta family will now light our chalice.
With open minds and loving hearts, we gather to search for meaning, to care for one another, and to work together for a better world.
Good morning. Welcome to our annual Thanksgiving service. My name is Reverend Lisa Perrywood. I am the interim contract minister here at First Parish, and my pronouns are she and her. As always, there are many, many things to be grateful for this year in our beloved community, in spite of the upheaval, fears, and tensions in our country right now. Today, we'll consider the importance of the practice of gratitude as a regular part of our lives. When we find ways to practice gratitude, it reminds us of all the many gifts in our lives, and it also helps us feel more connected to each other, to the natural world, and even to those whose views or circumstances are very different from our own. We can learn a lot from our Indigenous American siblings who have often made practices of gratitude central to their lives. You'll see that in the Haudenosaunee Thanksgiving address later in the service, as well as in our cornbread and cider ritual. And you also hear it in the words of poet, writer, and educator Tanaya Winder, who is an enrolled member of the Duckwater Shoshone tribe with ancestors from the Southern Ute, Pyramid Lake Paiute, Navajo, and Black tribes. Winder centers her poetry and activity around expressing and building community. This is Being by Tanaya Winder. Wake up, greet the sun and pray. Burn cedar, sweetgrass, sage. Sacred herbs to honor the lives we've been given, for we have been gifted these ways since the beginning of time. Remember, when you step into the arena of your life, think about those who stand beside you, next to, and with you. Your ancestors are always in your corner, along with your people. When we enter this world, we are born hungry. Our spirits long for us to live out our traditions that have been passed down for generations. Prayer, ceremony, dance, language, our ways of being. Never forget that you were put on this earth for a reason. Honor your ancestors. Be a good relative. Dear friends, come now into this sacred and beloved space we co-create each week, and let us worship together. And now please rise in body or spirit and join in singing hymn number 349, We Gather Together.
Good morning. I am still Kate Holland. So I have a story to share with you. So once, long ago, there was a man who grew up in a village, and his family wasn't poor. Hold your questions until the end, my friend. His family was not poor, but they weren't really wealthy either. And somehow when the young man had siblings and they would sit down to the dinner table and they would be given portions, he always felt like his sister got more than he ever did. Anybody have that experience when you were a kid? And he always felt, his sister got better toys than he did and more time with mom and dad. And so he grew up and and so he decided in his grown-up life that if the world was not going to give him what he would deserve, he would take it. And so he became a thief. And so on one day, the nobleman in the village was having his birthday, and it was a giant celebration. And of course, was he invited? Nope. So he decided he was going to sneak in and he was going to take some of those wonderful gifts he knew that the nobleman was going to get. So he didn't want to be seen, so he kind of snuck in and hung in the corners. And in the main room, he found a beam that was overlooking the big hall where it was. And so he managed to climb up and get on the beam and lie there and kind of watch. And he watched all of these incredible presents be given to this nobleman who was really very well loved in the town. He watched people eat this fabulous meal together. And the smells of it was just amazing. So as the night went on and people started to leave, the old nobleman sat down in his seat to rest. And as he sat down, he asked his servant to please come and set a table with all of the wonderful things that were in the feast. And the thief on top of the beam went, "How is this man going to fit yet another meal after all of this food?" And he must be really greedy, because that must be what it is. He knows he has more, and so he just wants to be really greedy about it. So as time went, everyone went away. The table was set. It was beautiful. And the old nobleman looked up and said, "Man in the rafters, I'd like you to come down and enjoy the meal that's been set for you." The thief was really surprised. He didn't know that someone had seen him up in the rafters. And he came down and he sat with the nobleman. And the nobleman said, "I'm really sorry you felt you couldn't come." He said, "My life has been so blessed and so wonderful. I am so grateful for all of the things I've been given." And he said, "So I want to share this wonderful meal with you. And," he said, "I want to give you this to help you on your way in case you need some money." And he handed him a bag of silver coins. The man was shocked. No one had ever done anything like that for him. And so he ate his meal and he took his coins. And now we're going to move to 10 years later, and it's the nobleman's birthday again. And he is having yet another wonderful feast, has all of his friends in, and people are coming and giving him gifts and telling him, "Oh, I want you to have this, and I so respect and care for you." And so finally one man came and said, "I want to give you a really special gift." And he said, "Remind me who you are. I don't recognize you." And he said, "Let me tell you a story of a young man who never felt like he had enough or was given the good things in life. And he snuck in to take something from someone so that he would have more. And they gave me this wonderful meal." And he said, "I know who you are now." And he said, "I want to thank you, because after that I realized if I was thankful for even the smallest of things I was given, it changed who I was. I started being thankful when somebody smiled to me on the street, and I said thank you to them and smiled back. I started being thankful when someone offered me a glass of water. If it was the smallest thing, I was thankful for it after this. And you know what? It changed who I am, and I have to thank you for that. This is the season of gratitude. And so I think all of us get busy. All of us have things that we do. And you know, I love Thanksgiving. It is my favorite holiday because each Thanksgiving I am blessed to sit with my family and our friends around a table. I am blessed to have food on that table. And each of us takes a moment to just kind of talk about what our blessings were for the year. And so I hope all of you find yourselves in a place where you can be grateful for the people that you're with on this holiday. So now I'm going to invite my friends to go down to our C classrooms. We're going out that way, and Polly and the choir are going to sing us out.
This is the time in our service when we invite your generosity. And this morning, our offering will be shared with Open Table. Open Table's mission is to end hunger in our local community by providing healthy food in ways that respect the dignity and diversity of those served. Offering a wide variety of healthy and culturally appropriate food choices in their pantry and meal programs, and engaging a team of diverse, committed, and passionate staff and volunteers. At Open Table, they believe that people should not be hungry. We recognize that economic, racial, and gender inequality are the main drivers of food insecurity, and we welcome our neighbors in need with compassion and respect. Instructions for giving online are in your order of service. Please give as generously as you can. Our offering will now be taken and gratefully received. We have a slight program change. There will be no formal joys and sorrows in our service this morning. If you would like to light a private candle in the back of the sanctuary at any time, please feel free to do so. And as always, please reach out to me or one of the lay ministers if you're in need of support. So now we introduce the Haudenosaunee Thanksgiving Address, and we have a cast of players here. They're going to come up front. Got a little casting change from your program. The Haudenosaunee Thanksgiving Address is subtitled Words Before All Else, Greetings to the Natural World. The Thanksgiving Address is the central prayer and invocation for the Haudenosaunee, also known as the Iroquois Confederacy or Six Nations, the Mohawk, Oneida, Cayuga, Onondaga, Seneca, and Tuscarora. It reflects their relationship of giving thanks for life and the world around them. The Haudenosaunee open and close every social and religious meeting with the Thanksgiving Address. The address is an ancient message of peace and appreciation of Mother Earth and her inhabitants. Children learn that according to tradition, people everywhere are embraced as family. Our diversity, like all wonders of nature, is truly a gift for which we are thankful. When we recite the Thanksgiving Address, the natural world is thanked. And in thanking each life-sustaining force, we become spiritually tied to each of the forces of the natural and spiritual world. The Thanksgiving Address teaches mutual respect, conservation, love, generosity, and the responsibility to understand that what is done to one part of the web of life, we do to ourselves. After each card is read, we will all respond, "Now our minds are one." Let's try that. Now our minds are one. We give you the Haudenosaunee Address.
The people. Today we have gathered and we see the cycles of life continue. We have been given the duty to live in balance and harmony with each other and with all living things. So now we bring our minds together as one as we give greetings and thanks to each other's people. Now our minds are one.
The Earth Mother. We are all thankful to our Mother, the Earth, for she gives us all that we need for life. She supports our feet as we walk upon her. It gives us joy that she continues to care for us as she has from the beginning of time. To our Mother, we send greetings and thanks.
Now our minds are one.
The waters. We give thanks to all the waters of the world for quenching our thirst and providing us with strength. Water is life. We know its power in many forms: waterfalls and rains, mist and streams, rivers and oceans. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to the Spirit of water. Now our minds are one.
The fish. We turn our minds to all the fish life in the water. They were instructed to cleanse and purify the water. They also give themselves to us as food. We are grateful that we can still find pure water. So we turn now to the fish and send our greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one.
The plants. Now we turn toward the vast fields of plant life. As far as the eye can see, the plants grow, working many wonders. They sustain many life forms. With our minds gathered together, we give thanks and look forward to seeing plant life for many generations to come.
Now our minds are one.
The food plants. With one mind, we turn to honor and thank all the food plants we harvest from the garden. Since the beginning of time, the grains, vegetables, beans, and berries have helped the people survive. Many other living things draw strength from them too. We gather all the plants' foods together as one and send them a greeting of thanks. Now our minds are one.
The medicine herbs. Now we turn to all the medicine herbs of the world. From the beginning, they were instructed to take away sickness. They are always waiting and ready to heal us. We are happy there are still among us those special few who remember how to use these plants for healing. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to the medicines and to the keepers of the medicines.
Now our minds are one.
We gather our minds together to send greetings and thanks to all the animals in the world. They have many things to teach us as people. We are honored by them when they give up their lives so we may have their bodies as food for our people. We see them near our homes and in the deep forests. We are glad they are still here, and we hope that will always be so. Now our minds are one. We all are thankful to the powers we know as the four winds. We hear their voices in the moving air as they refresh us and purify the air we breathe. They help us to bring the change of seasons. From the four directions they come, bringing us messages and giving us strength. With one mind, we send our greetings and thanks to the four winds.
Now our minds are one.
The trees. We now turn our thoughts to the trees. The earth has many families of trees who have their own instructions and uses. Some provide us with shelter and shade, others with fruit, beauty, and other useful things. Many people of the world use the tree as a symbol of peace and strength. With one mind, we greet and thank the tree life. Now our minds are one. The birds. We put our minds together as one and thank all the birds who move and fly about over our heads. The Creator gave them beautiful songs. Each day, they remind us to enjoy and appreciate life. The eagle was chosen to be their leader. To all the birds, from the smallest to the largest, we send our joyful greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one.
Now we turn the thunderers. Now we turn to the west, where our grandfathers, the thunder beings, live. With lightning and thundering voices, they bring with them the water that renews life. We are thankful that they keep those evil things made by Okewasirs, which are evil spirits, underground. We bring our minds together as one to send greetings and thanks to our grandfathers, the thunderers. Now our minds are one.
The sun. The sun. We now send greetings and thanks to our eldest brother, the sun. Each day, without fail, he travels the sky from east to west, bringing the light of a new day. He is the source of all fires in life. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to our brother, the sun. Now our minds as one.
Grandmother Moon, we put our minds together to give thanks to our oldest grandmother, the moon, who lights the nighttime sky. She is a leader of women all over the world, and she governs the movement of the ocean tides. By her changing face we measure time, and it is the moon who watches over the arrival of children here on earth. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to our grandmother, the moon.
Now our minds are one.
The stars. We give thanks to the stars who are spread across the sky like jewelry. We see them in the night, helping the moon to light the darkness and bringing dew to the gardens and growing things. When we travel at night, they guide us home. With our minds gathered together as one, we send greetings and thanks to the stars.
Now our minds are one.
The enlightened teachers. We gather our minds to greet and thank the enlightened teachers who have come to help throughout the ages. When we forget how to live in harmony, they remind us of the way we were instructed to live as people. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to these caring teachers.
Now our minds are one. Now we turn our thoughts to the Creator, or Great Spirit, and send greetings and thanks for all the gifts of creation. Everything we need to live a good life is here on this Mother Earth. For all the love that is still around us, we gather our minds together as one and send our choicest words of greeting and thanks to the Creator. Now our minds are one.
Closing words. We have now arrived at the place where we end our words. Of all the things we have named, it was not our intention to leave anything out. If something was forgotten, please leave it to each individual to send such greetings and thanks in their own way. Now our minds are one.
Thank you to our readers. And now we come to the cornbread and cider ritual, which is being shared in many, many Unitarian Universalist and other congregations around the country today. While the trays of cider and cornbread are being passed, and by the way, the cornbread is dairy and gluten-free, I'll offer an introduction. Please hold your cups and wait to partake until everyone has served, and then we'll do that together. The cornbread and cider communion has been a tradition in many of our congregations. We celebrate this ritual today with gratitude for our freedom and our abundance.
mindful of those who fear for their safety, those who have no home to shelter them, those experiencing food insecurity, those separated from loved ones, all for whom we pray. You can go ahead and begin handing those out. Thank you. We celebrate this ritual today with gratitude for our freedom and our abundance, mindful of those who fear for their safety, those who have no home to shelter them. I said this already, didn't I? All for whom we pray. Food is often a symbol of home. But what if you suddenly found yourself in a place where everything about the food was different? Imagine what it might be like to be living on the street, eating whatever food was on offer. Or living in a new country with fruits, vegetables, and other foods that were strange to you. Just as teff is indigenous to the African continent, and millet is indigenous to the Asian continent, corn is indigenous to the North American continent. As we share our cornbread this morning, let us hold in our hearts all those here and abroad who have been forced to leave their homes and those for whom home no longer exists. Let us hold in our hearts all those here and abroad for whom home is no longer a place of safety, and those who fear they may no longer have a home in our country. I see there's still some passing going along. If you have your cornbread, you can go ahead and eat that. I was told this morning that at one time it was a tradition here to do this with challah bread that was passed and people broke off a piece. So it's a longer standing tradition here. Now we prepare to share the apple cider. The only apples native to North America are crab apples. The ones we enjoy in this country today came originally from Asia, through the Middle East, into Europe, and then on to America. As we share our apple cider this morning, may it symbolize the sweetness that can come from being open to new experiences, whether it be new foods or new people, how our lives are enriched when people share their gifts with one another. Now you may drink the cider. Our concluding words are adapted from a Thanksgiving blessing by Naomi King. Spirit of life and love, let us join hands and hearts in gratitude on this wondrous day where we have the abundance of our lives before us. This day of bounty, we remember all of those who do not have enough, who are afraid, who are lonely, and who suffer. We wish for the abundance of this world to be shared, for fear to become love, for the lonely to feel welcomed, for the suffering to know rest and joy. For the labors, the love, the care that give us the delights of this and every day, we offer our gratitude. For the nourishment of our spirit, the challenges that strengthen us, and the friends we have on the journey, we offer our gratitude. For all that is our lives, for these good gifts, we offer our gratitude. May gratitude for our abundance move us to act with compassion for those in need. Let us pause now for a moment of silence. Amen. Blessed be. Thank you, choir and Polly, for such beautiful music this morning. We hear so much about gratitude, especially at this time of year, and it's very easy for many of us to feel grateful for all that we have. Most of us here, I hope all of us here, have all the food, shelter, clothing, and safety that we could want. And of course, we have each other, this wonderful congregation to be grateful for. Yet every day we witness and hear about our immigrant neighbors' freedom, livelihood, and safety in jeopardy. It can feel hard, maybe even indulgent at times, to lean into gratitude for our own gifts when all around us are people in desperate need. But I'm here to say that our being grateful for our own blessings and bounty in no way diminishes what others lack. In fact, just the opposite is true, I think. The more we allow ourselves to feel truly, deeply grateful for all that we have, the greater will be the outpouring of generosity to others. Gratitude is expansive. It widens our outlook. It eases our day-to-day anxieties, and it enables us to open our hearts to give even more. There's a story told by Tara Brach that I think illustrates this. A young couple were traveling for the holidays, driving several hundred miles to visit family with their 1-year-old baby. It was a long drive, and about halfway they decided to stop at a diner to eat. The restaurant was crowded, but they were able to find a table and a high chair for the baby. Soon, the baby was cooing, waving her hands and beaming across the crowded room. The parents turned to see, with a little bit of horror, that the object of the baby's attention was an old man in shabby, not very clean clothes, with long, uncombed hair and beard across the room, who was beaming back at the baby and giving a little wave. Their food arrived, but all attempts to distract the baby were futile. Her attention was fixed on this man. The couple hastily finished their food, and then the father said that he'd pay at the register and bring the car around. The mother cleaned up the baby and then scooped her up and started for the exit, and as luck would have it, the man's table was in her path. As soon as they got close, the baby lurched forward, leaning her arms toward the man, cooing and saying, "Hi, hi." "Hi, baby," he said, smiling broadly. Then turning to the mother, he asked quietly, "May I hold your baby?" The mother gulped, then nodded silently, carefully handing over the child, who was now leaning into the man's arms. He took the child gently, smiling and babbling with her in a private language. And then after a minute or so, he reluctantly handed her back. "Thank you," he said, smiling, "for the best gift anyone has given me in a long, long time." With tears in her eyes now, the young mother and baby returned to the car, and she told her husband what had happened. "I don't know who received the greater gift," she said. Generosity and gratitude often go hand in hand like this. We see that here on the weeks that we have a shared plate at First Parish and in other congregations. On weeks our plate is shared, people tend to give even more generously. When we have a benefit to support those in need, like the one that was held for CASA 2 weeks ago, the outpouring of generosity is impressive. I think they made somewhere around $20,000 for immigrants in need. Really impressive. We can be simultaneously concerned about our own financial sustainability while also recognizing that others are in dire and immediate need. When I made a gift from the Minister's Discretionary Fund recently, the grateful recipient asked, "How can I repay you?" And I said, "When you're able, pay it forward." It doesn't need to be monetary. It might be the gift of a helping hand, a visit to a shut-in, a meal delivered. our gifts show up in so many different ways. Now, I'm guessing that this week many of us watched at least some of Ken Burns' The American Revolution series that premiered this week. And like me, you may be learning or relearning facts about our history, not all of which are comfortable to face. It is a violent history. Burns reminded us of the age-old conflicts in our country, the history of our relationship with indigenous people, many of whom fought as equals beside the patriots in their battles against the British, and then later were severely mistreated by our government and continue in some cases to do so. Not to mention the slaves who also fought on both sides with the hope of being freed that was not realized here for another century. And of course, these truths contradict the happy Pilgrims and Indians Thanksgiving story we've been told for centuries. There was certainly generosity shown by the indigenous people who encountered these strangers from another continent, and I'm sure there was some reciprocation, but this is a complicated story for sure. One thing we have freely borrowed from our indigenous neighbors are the lessons of their storytelling. And I love the story of the bear, the river, and the salmon, also called The Agreement, that's retold by Barry Lopez. One time, before there were any people walking this valley, there were bear people, and they had an agreement with the salmon. The salmon would come upriver every fall, and the bears would acknowledge this and take just what they needed. This is the way it was with everything. Everyone lived by certain agreements and courtesies. But the salmon people and the bear people had made no agreement with the river. It had been overlooked. No one thought it was even necessary. Well, it was. One fall, the river pulled itself back into the shore trees and wouldn't let the salmon enter from the ocean. Whenever they would try, the river would pull back and leave the salmon stranded on the beach. There was a long argument, a lot of talk. Finally, the river let the salmon enter. But when the salmon got up into the country where the bears lived, the river began to run in two directions at once, north on one side and south on the other, roaring, heaving, white water, rolling big boulders up in the banks. Then the river was suddenly still. The salmon were afraid to move. The bears were standing behind the trees, looking out and hungry. The river said, in the middle of all this silence, that there had to be an agreement. No one could just do something, whatever they wanted. You couldn't just take someone for granted. So for several days, they spoke about it. The salmon said who they were and where they came from, and the bears spoke about what they did, what powers they had been given. The river spoke about its agreement with the rain and the wind and the crayfish and so on. Everyone said what they needed and what they would be willing to give away. Then a very odd thing happened. The river said it loved the salmon. No one had ever said anything like this before. No one had taken the chance. It was an honesty that pleased everyone. It made for a very deep agreement among them. Well, they were able to reach an understanding about their obligations to each other, and everyone went their way. This remains unchanged, goes the story. Time has nothing to do with this. And, says the author, this is not a story. When you feel the river shuddering against your legs, you are feeling the presence of all these agreements. Now, don't you love that the river said that it loved the salmon and how that deepened the agreement between them? If only our own treaties, like making peace between countries whose people so badly need peace right now, could be infused with love. Am I right? Imagine how it would look if there were more smiling and honest sharing when world leaders met, less posturing and deceit. Picture a world where we're grateful for our partners in peacekeeping and where we negotiated from that place. It reminds me of the lines of our opening poem by Tanaya Winder. Never forget you were put on this earth for a reason. Honor your ancestors. Be a good relative. Beloveds, these are the words of Michael LeDuc. May we look with gratitude upon this day for the beauty of the world, for the first radiance of dawn and the last smoldering glow of sunset. Let us be thankful for physical joys, for hills to climb and hard work to do, for music that lifts our hearts in one breath, for the hand clasp of a friend, for the gracious loveliness of children who remind us of the wonders of life. For all of this, and for the countless other blessings in our lives, let us be grateful. Amen. Now I invite you to rise and embody or spirit and sing hymn number 1010 in the teal hymnal, We Give Thanks. Reminder that after our service downstairs in the vestry, we will have our annual tradition of singing Lydia Mariah Child's Over the River and Through the Wood. Song sheets will be available. We'll start a few minutes after we get downstairs. Our closing words are from Maureen Killeran. No matter how weak or frightened we may feel, we each have gifts that can make a difference in the world. In this coming week, may you do at least one thing to support the broken, to welcome the stranger, to celebrate what is worthy, to do the work of justice and love. Be strong, be connected, each day act so you may be a little more whole. Beloved friends, take all that we have shared here this morning. Go out into the world grateful for the gifts of Mother Earth, bringing kindness to all those you meet. And may you, in return, be blessed. May it be so. Amen.